Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Hi there. I am so happy you landed here. You did not land here by accident. You landed here on purpose. This is going to be the best 15 minutes you've spent in a long time. If we've never met before, hi, I'm Dr. Edie. I am a former family physician turned life coach and mentor to women who are ready to live and lead from their God-given purpose. For more than a decade, I've watched thousands of women step out of survival mode and into creation mode, making an impact on the world. And I can tell you this, the world has never needed your voice more than it needs it right now. When you look around, you probably see what I see. It feels like the world's kind of on fire, so much fear, so much division, so much exhaustion. But women of faith see things differently. We believe in a bright future. We believe that beauty is always being born from ashes. And the world needs that kind of hope and wisdom now more than ever. Your kind of hope and wisdom. You're uniquely positioned for this moment in time. You've lived the transformation that the world is hungry for. You've done the work. You've walked through loss and found joy again. You have so much hard-earned wisdom. You've learned to stay steady when everything shakes around you. You've led yourself through some really tough healing, and that means that you carry something special and something that was always meant to be given away. The truth is, you're not in a season of searching anymore. You're in a season of stewardship. What God has put in you is not meant to stay private. It's meant to multiply. That's why you. Now, why now? Because I believe we're living in a Kairos moment, a divine window of time when women of depth are being called to rise and lead from love and courage and truth. I want to wake you up to that calling, to help you see how everything you've ever walked through has prepared you to mentor, to influence, to lead, to show you what it looks like to turn your personal transformation into something that has profound impact, to move from consuming more and more learning and podcasts to really creating something, from growth to giving, from transformation to true legacy. And I say that because I've lived it. I can tell you this, the single most life-changing decision I have ever made in my adult life was to become a coach. Now, I had been in an amazing career. I had been a physician for a long time, and it wasn't because I changed careers, but becoming a coach gave me a way of living, a framework for growth, for relationships, for leadership, and for purpose that literally changed everything in my life. It's made me a better wife, a better mother, a better friend. It's deepened my faith. It's strengthened my resilience in so many ways, and given me a life that I so love and enjoy. It's also given me language for transformation that I can now give back every single day. It's the reason that I can walk through challenges now with so much peace and clarity. And it's the reason why my work so often feels like play or even worship. It's the reason I'm more fully alive than I've ever been. And I'm so passionate about helping women turn their own life experience into that same transformation. Because when you learn to lead yourself, you can't help but start leading and mentoring others. There was a season when I faced challenges that shook everything I thought I knew, from loss and disappointment, the unraveling of what I thought looked like the perfect life on paper. I did honestly believe back then that my best days were behind me, but when I found the tools that I teach my clients, that I can teach you, it felt like coming home. It felt like language to what God was already doing in me, and it became the bridge between my healing and my purpose. And now I have the incredible privilege of equipping women of faith to do the same, to use their stories, their struggles, and their hard-won wisdom as the very tools to bring hope and transformation in others. So take a deep breath, give me just a few minutes, and I think I can help you see where maybe you've been keeping your light hidden. And I do believe that this is the time that you were meant to rise up and lead. There comes a point in every woman's journey when what used to satisfy us just doesn't anymore. You've read the books, you've listened to the podcast, you've joined the challenges, you've grown, you've healed, you've learned, but something in you knows it's time for more. Not just more information, but more activation. So many of us get stuck in what I call the consumption loop. We stay students way longer after we should. We keep waiting to feel ready, hoping that that next course will finally erase the fear. And the truth is, you'll never think your way into courage. You have to act your way there. Growth that never becomes giving eventually stagnates. And I do believe that the gifts that God has given us are such a form of energy and light in the world that if we're not acting on those, they do become a way that turns into sometimes grief or sorrow or resentment. We need to let those gifts out. Transformation that never turns into service starts to feel hollow. It starts to create a lot of dissatisfaction for us. You were never meant to be a reservoir. You were created to be a river. And that's what one of my clients, Angela, discovered. She was the queen of personal development, always learning, always consuming, but never really giving from that overflow. And the moment she started learning the tools to give that wisdom away, to mentor women, to share her story, to create space for healing, everything changed. Energy rushed back. Her life started feeling electric again. And that's what I've noticed in my own life. And I know that's what's possible for you. You don't burn out by giving. You burn out by holding back. Let me ask you this. Where in your life are you holding back? Where do you know you've got so much yet to give and share, and yet you're not doing it? We are most alive when we're creating, when we're giving away the gifts we've been given, when we're building something that matters, when our gifts are in motion. That's how God designed us. He created us and we carry his DNA, which means that fulfillment will never come from staying in our comfort zone, from safety. It comes from really aligning yourself with the gifts he's given you. When your life becomes a natural offering, when you start creating, heaven starts multiplying. And when you start contributing, that ache that you've had finally makes sense. You realize that the thing you've been missing isn't more knowledge. It's the satisfaction of using what you already have to change someone else's life. This is the new paradigm of leadership. Not perfection, but participation, and not waiting until you have it all figured out, because I promise you that day's not coming. Walking while it's still dark, trusting that the next step will illuminate itself. Because when you do that, your transformation stops being private therapy and starts becoming public ministry. Your overflow becomes someone else's breakthrough, and your spark will come back. Your days will stop feeling like you're maintaining or you're surviving, and they will start feeling like you're actually living on mission. What if I told you that that restlessness you feel, that tug towards something more, is not a problem to fix? It's an invitation, because you weren't created just to do the work and heal for yourself. You were sent here to help. You weren't made to only transform, but you were made to multiply that transformation. Every bit of growth, every ounce of healing, every mountain that you have climbed was never meant to stop with you. It was meant to flow through you to your family, your community, to the next woman who's still praying for the breakthrough that you have already had. That's why I believe that ache isn't restlessness, it's readiness. It's God's way of saying, it's time. It's time to take what you've walked through and turn it into wisdom that guides others, to let your story become someone else's survival guide. And I will tell you this from my own experience, you guys. I just finished rewriting a full guidebook. It's sitting right here. It's a little messy. Rewrote the whole thing for my clients. And when I hit save on that final page, I just sat there and cried. Not because it was perfect, not because it was easy to redo or to even create in the first place, but because I knew this is going to be their field guide on hard days. Everything I've walked through, every fear, every failure, every lesson now has a purpose. It will speak life into someone else's storm. And that gives me so much meaning and so much purpose, way more than any achievement ever could. And that's the paradox of this work. The very thing that broke you once, that we often think this will be my undoing, that becomes the thing that blesses others. You turn your pain into purpose, your chaos into calling. And that's what it means to really live from your true self, to lead from your true self. That's one of the tools that I teach my clients, that it's changed my life maybe more than anything else. And I know that some of you are thinking, well, who am I to do this? Who am I to lead something? I don't feel confident enough. I want to tell you something that will change your life. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to feel every emotion that comes with answering your call. Because I promise you, as soon as you say yes to the thing that you know you're being called to do, there will be so much resistance. And the more resistance there is, the more that thing matters, the more that thing will transform you and transform other people. When you step out to do this, to create, to share, to lead, to mentor, your heart will race. You'll feel vulnerable and exposed and maybe unqualified. But confidence isn't about eliminating those feelings. It's about expanding your capacity to hold those feelings without running away from what you know you're being called to do, without shrinking back. True confidence says, I can feel scared and still serve. I can feel like I'm not ready and still rise and answer the call. That's what allows you to keep showing up when your knees are shaking, because you know what's at stake. And you know that the women who are waiting for the wisdom that only you can give need you to say yes. And that's why this feels very sacred and special to our hearts. So many times I find women that won't even say the thing that they know they're called to do. That's how tender it feels to them. But when you decide to show up anyway, open hearted, willing, surrendered, I promise you, heaven will multiply your impact in ways that you could never orchestrate. Coaching, mentoring, leading in this way isn't a profession. It's a divine partnership where you bring your story, your scars, your skills. God brings his spirit, his timing, his multiplication. And I am telling you, magic starts to happen. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs women who've walked through fire and come out radiant, whose confidence is quiet but unshakable, whose peace speaks louder than their fear, especially in a world that's designed to have us afraid at every turn of the page or scroll of the phone. You've lived enough life to lead with compassion and truth and power. And when you begin using what you've lived to lift up others, your transformation starts transforming someone else. The most fulfilling life isn't the one where everything feels easy. It's the one where it's meaningful. And I promise you that using the gifts that you've been given is how you turn that meaning that God's creating in your life all the time into legacy. Let me say something else about this work. When you live it, it multiplies. Every time you lead someone through the same darkness you faced, every time you remind a woman of her worth and her emotional power, every time you help somebody see possibility where she has only seen pain, you are multiplying grace and love and joy in the world. You're extending this gift that you've been given to other people. And that's what this work does. It turns your private healing into public hope. It turns your story into someone else's guidebook or survival strategy. And when you see the light come back into their eyes because you had the courage to go first, not only changes them, it changes you. And I will tell you something. After practicing medicine for years, going into mentoring and coaching and creating an amazing life that feels like I have so much freedom and I have so much purpose and so much impact has been so powerful. It's a really flexible, amazing life to live. And that part is so good. But I'm going to tell you something. The impact that I have been able to have on women, that is what keeps me up at night, sometimes in awe and in gratitude and in wonder. I realize that I am living really in partnership with God, that everyday conversations now become investments that I'm making literally into eternity. And your voice and your presence and your obedience will do the same. I found that this work doesn't pull me away from things that matter. I have been able to build something where I can prioritize my faith and my family more deeply than ever. As I grow in my business, I grow in my life. As I grow in my impact with other people, it has an impact in my personal life. I get to build legacy in real time, teaching and mentoring and creating, and still sitting around the dinner table, creating a beautiful home, pouring into relationships, watching my grandbabies play on Fridays. I am living proof that you can create impact and intimacy, influence and presence. And it fills me up more than anything ever has. It has been literally the multiplication model of the kingdom of God in my own life. The more I have given, the more God has given me to give. The same will be true for you. The more you pour out, the more he fills you up. You become a channel where his wisdom and love can flow to a world that desperately needs it. That is why I created this Next Level Life Summit. If all of this is resonating with you today, I want you to come to this summit. We will take all of this, your story, your gifts, your calling, and we will activate it in a powerful way. This is where you'll learn what it looks like to turn your own transformation into influence and legacy work. And you will meet incredible, amazing women who are doing it. Next Level Life, you can register below, is November 11th. This is a 6-hour live virtual event where we will help you design your life and your leadership for the next 90 days. And when you sign up, you'll receive this amazing guidebook that I just rewrote as a free digital download. Now, not only is this the exact framework that I use myself to get amazing results in my life, it has my coaching tools in there. This is how I coach my own clients. So even if you're already a coach, come learn my system for doing it. It's the same tool that helps my clients and my coaches implement results and get results for their clients. Also, we're offering this for a limited time. If you want a physical copy shipped to your door, there is a simple a $27 upgrade, and you can hold the very thing in your hands that I just finished editing and making even better. So for $17, join our summit. This is your entry into a new rhythm of growth. This is more than an event. It's a reset. It's a chance to live what you've been learning, to apply these incredible tools that I've learned, that I teach, and that you can use in your own life, or that you can help other people apply to theirs. So as we close, I want you to imagine something with me. I want you to imagine a year from now, you have fully stepped into your calling. You are living your full potential. You are living at the fullest expression of the gifts God has given you. You're leading women. You're having life-changing conversations. You're maybe building a practice or a business that serves your family and your faith. You wake up with peace in your body, purpose in your heart, and gratitude deep in your bones. And you realize, I'm actually doing it. I'm living my legacy. That's what happens when you stop waiting for permission and you start walking in obedience. That's what happens when you decide that what God has done in you is worth giving away. This is your moment. The Next Level Life Summit on November 11th is your next step of obedience. It's a 6-hour virtual live conference that will change your life. It will show you how to multiply your impact, how to really clarify your calling. What is it you're being called to do? And to activate the leader within you. You will be surrounded by amazing women who have gone first and they've turned their transformation into legacy. And now it's your turn. So we want you to join us for this amazing, amazing conference. If something inside is whispering, this is for me. If you feel a little activated by what I've been saying, it's not fear, it's calling, and it's time to say yes. Don't wait to feel ready. Ready is a myth. All we need is your yes. So take a deep breath, join us below. Your next level life is waiting. I can't wait to see you there.